Hey there, YouTubers. Well, it's Prediction Friday, and so everybody lays their reputations on the line. We all say that our predictions, including myself. You can put yours in the comments below. We talk about whether the Packers are going to be able to pull one off against the Washington Redskins this coming Sunday night. I have a bold prediction for this game. I also have an analogy that I'm drawing for how I am approaching this game as a fan. So I hope you'll watch. Good Packer Nation morning. Good Packer Nation morning, guys and dolls. It is Friday. Does anybody out there have a little love for Friday finally rolling around? Except you, Jared, because you're already on Saturday. Jared is in a time machine over in Australia. Always gets to the weekend before us. It's just sick. It's just sick. Anybody got any love for the weekend coming on? Yeah, a lot of good college football coming up. Go Badgers, by the way. Hector is here. Yeah, let me know who you are, where you're coming at me from. We'll do a little Packer Nation roll call as we get onto the show. Of course, talking about this big-time matchup against Washington. And I titled this show, Just Go 1-0. Do I got a little bit of love for that? Caesar is here. Gustavo is here. Says good morning to everybody. Tim Welsh, who always says good morning to myself and Packer Nation. Jeff is here from Fresno. LB is back from Green Bay. Sean and James and Maurice and Ashley are all here. Good to see you guys. Anybody ready for a weekend out there? Ready for a little weekend of Packer football? A little weekend? Maybe you got some high school football. You got some kids you're watching at the hometown. Maybe you got some college football that you're watching. Jerry is here. Candy is back. John and DM. Good to see you guys. Yeah, this is going to be a big one. There's one thing I wanted to mention because, yesterday was Thursday and we had some Thursday night football. And frankly, I couldn't get on the show without talking about this because I don't know if you saw it or not. But I am a Packer fan only. However, as a football fan, we all know there are players out there that we just love to watch play the game. We think are great players. They're not not necessarily Packers. That doesn't mean we're fans of them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I got to tell you something. All right, so who am I thinking of? Like, okay, give me a thumbs up. Barry Sanders. Does anybody out there got a thumbs up for Barry Sanders? I hated when he beat the Packers, but I couldn't help but love watching Barry Sanders run the ball. Period. Well, one of my guys, there we go, and you understand this. There are guys that are just everything that is right about football, and Barry Sanders was one. There are some guys in the league right now that are not Packer players, but I want to mention one of them. And if you guys saw the game, Saints against the Panthers last night, you will know what I'm talking about. But Luke Kuechly, I have been a guy that I hate when Luke Kuechly plays the Packers. But Luke Kuechly, to my mind, is everything that is right about the linebacker position. He is everything that is right about football. He just goes out there, and you can tell that he loves the game every time he steps on the field. And he's been durable. Well, in this game, I don't know if you saw this, all right? Give me a thumbs up right now if you saw Luke Kuechly get injured in last night's game, okay? If you saw this, you will remember it. So give me a thumbs up. I want to get a read on how many people saw this. I'm going to explain what happened. Maurice did. Luke Kuechly comes in to make a tackle, and this would have been number 14 for Luke Kuechly in the game. Think about that. How many players go out on the field and make 14 tackles a game, and he's been doing it year in and year out in one of the most brutal positions. The position that is known for just the tough guy position. This guy is tough. And he goes in, and it's funny because like three things happen in this play. He comes in for the tackle, and he's a little bit high. And he ends up just getting like clipped up under the face mask and into the chest by the helmet. At the same time, his right leg is like extended out in a kind of an awkward position. And then at the end of the play, he gets buckled over on his left leg, which looks awkward as well. And as far as what the injury report is on him, hi there, Roger from La Crosse. My mom is from there. Good to see you. But as far as the injury report on him, he is in concussion protocol. But here's the deal, guys. If you saw this, it put up a sad face for me because Luke Kuechly, one of the tough guys of the league, the guy that he loves this sport. He's sitting down and he's just staring and he's like gasping. And they said he was sobbing. And I don't know if it was because he wasn't going to get to play the rest of the game. To me, he just looked like a guy who was so badly hurt and he knew he was badly hurt. This is Luke Kuechly, who just came back from a concussion. I think he missed a ton of time due to a concussion. And he came back saying, listen, I understand the risk, but I love the game of football and I'm just going to play it as long as I can possibly play it. And to see him just sitting there, he could hardly move, with a deer in the headlights look. And he just looked to me like a guy who knew it might be over. And frankly, a long, long time ago, in a circumstance that didn't matter anywhere near as much, I had to get carried off the field one time, and I always look back at it with embarrassment that I didn't just stand up and walk my own way off the field. But there's a point where you get hurt so bad that it may very well be over. And man, I just wanted to mention for a minute Luke Kuechly and say that I hope that you play a bunch more years in the league, even though you're playing against my team from time to time. Because I hope you get well soon, because I really think Luke Kuechly embodies, a lot of the things that are right about the NFL, the toughness and the brains. Drew Brees said that the last time he and Luke Kuechly matched up, that Luke Kuechly called 2/3 of their plays before the Saints even snapped the ball. He was calling their plays. And LB says, prayers, don't like players getting injured. And that's right. I don't like anybody getting injured. But this, again, if you didn't see it, you may not understand. Maybe it sounds like a weird thing for me to bring on our show. But if you saw this, you saw Luke Kuechly absolutely stunned. And he did look like he was just sobbing. His body obviously reacting to a lot of pain. And this concussion protocol tells me that, that clip really jarred him, really jarred his brain hard. Virginia says she saw it, and it was scary. And it was one of those things, and I think it was mentioned just a minute ago, it wasn't like there was anything dirty about it. Kuechly, he's not a dirty player by any stretch. He's a freaking hard-nosed player, but he's not a dirty player. There was nothing dirty about the play. It was just one of those things that happens in football, and Sherry says she saw it, and it was. You guys who saw it, if you didn't see it, go on NFL.com and just, I guess they don't have it on the highlights at NFL.com, but you can search it real easy. Guys, this was quite a hit, and I really, really really hope that he's okay. I hope he can go through the concussion protocol, but that by the look in his face. And part of it is we react to this, don't we? Because we see Sam Shields. It wasn't the same kind of hit with Sam Shields, but it's the same kind of ramifications that could be the case for Sam Shields, right? That we know that he may not play football again. And Sam Shields, a great player, a great story. And the game may have been pulled out from under him like a carpet. And the same might be true for Luke Kuechly right there. Hey there, Felton, from Savannah, just down the road. I'm up here in Johnson City, Tennessee, northeast corner of Tennessee. So good to see you, Felton. Good to see you, Rudy. And Rudy says it's football, love it or leave it. And obviously, I think everyone would agree Luke Kuechly loves it, and that's why he stayed in and played until basically he got stunned out. We'll see what happens down the road. But again, this is a parallel story to Sam Shields, to my mind. The difference being the Luke Kuechly hit, I've never seen a guy react that way after the hit. So DM says, hope he's not done. I do too. I think the game of football needs guys like this. If I were going to compare Luke Kuechly to somebody in terms of kind of just loving to hate the guy. I love the way he plays football. I can't help but just watch the way he plays the game. But when he's playing the Green Bay Packers, I can't stand it. I would say Brian Urlacher. Brian Urlacher was tough. He was no nonsense. He wasn't afraid of anything, but he also wasn't a guy that acted like a jerk all the time. And there are guys out there that I think are everything that's wrong with football because of the money that they make. But Luke Kuechly is not one of them. There are a lot of them that are excellent ambassadors for football. I don't want to be bashing, but you know me. There are a few guys, and I'm not afraid to call them out. One of them I renamed, Odell Beckman. I'm not afraid to call that kind of crap out. And Luke Kuechly, man, he's everything that's good about the league. He reminds me of Brian Urlacher in terms of that old school toughness, the new wave brains, and just the side-to-side ability that he has. He's fun to watch, except when he's playing the Packers. But anyway, this is a Packers show. I do want to talk about the Packers. Who out there wants to go 1-0 this week? Is anybody out there just want to go 1-0? Give me a heart right now if all you want is to go 1-0. Chris is here. He says he misses the live feed. Hey, you're on. Congratulations, man. Did you take a day off of work or what? Anybody out there want to go 1-0 this week? Is that the focus of any in Packer Nation right now? We got to travel to Washington. We know what the story is. As fans, we peek, we look ahead. But this week, all we want to do is go 1-0. Now, here's my deal. I told you that, we take predictions seriously, and it is Friday. Johnny says, heck yeah. Otis just wants a good start to a game, and I can understand that line right now. But you know me, we talked about this yesterday, how we take our predictions seriously here in Packer Nation. And and this one was a difficult one for me. Look at the arsenal of weapons that Washington has. Kirk Cousins has been playing some great football. When he can stand in the pocket, he is delivering the ball. They are an efficient offense right now. Not only that, but Djax may be back after injury, so now he can take the top off of defense just like that. So this was a nervous one for me. And then Julius Peppers got in and put all my nerves to rest. Did anybody hear Julius Peppers basically guaranteeing a win against the Washington Redskins? And to be quite honest, I do not take that as tongue-in-cheek. I take that as Julius Peppers is going to go out and have a freakish game. Clay Matthews quite possibly back. Randall will wait and see, but he may be back. We might get Cook back. We signed a guy named Christian Michael that might get on the field. We're not sure. I don't think he's going to be a huge player. But does anybody else out there have a little bit better perspective on this game just because Julius Peppers said what he said? I know some would poo-poo it, and say it's just a bunch of talk. Not me. I think when Julius Peppers opens his mouth and says something, he considers it a contract with his fans. And I think he's going to have his best game of the season. It may be one sack, but it may be a sack and a fumble. You watch. Remember a couple years ago when we signed this cat, he had a pick 6 or 2. Wasn't it 2? DM says, I take it as game on. Ooh, I like it. Anybody out there got a thumbs up for game on? Washington, we are coming for you. We are not backing away from a fight. We are coming into your house. And we are taking the fight to you. This is who we are. This is what we do. I see a lot of love for that. And the fact of the matter is, Packer Nation is full of fight. If there's one thing we've been through the high times, we've been through the low times. There's a lot of people listening right now that have been there are people listening right now that have been through the 50s, that have been through the 80s. You don't get 13 championships without having your share of down years, and we have had our share. Till Brett Favre came on the scene, a lot of us are listening right now. Didn't see any wins. We had like one appearance in the playoffs for a while there. But yeah, Julius Peppers is getting on. He's not afraid to say, listen, no, we're going to go out there and win this game. This is our mindset. Our mindset is to win. Our mindset is not to fear. Okay? So I'm going to draw an analogy for all of you today. And this is my analogy for my prediction. It's my analogy for how I am going to feel about the Packers from now until they beat Washington on Sunday night. Okay? This is my analogy. All right? You guys will remember this. Aaron Rodgers had a 20-yard touchdown run in the game against the Tennessee Titans last week. This was a losing performance. This was somewhat of an embarrassment to Packer Nation. In that 20-yard run, he came across the goal line and to about a yard deep and let up, and then we know it, hit, right? He rolls out, he falls down, he doesn't have time to even get up, and you can see the attitude on his face like, what are you doing, man? By the time he has time to react and get up, his entire team is attacking the man that made the hit, starting with Davante Adams, who had a phenomenal game. This is my analogy for my stance on my Green Bay Packers right now. I want you to heart me if you agree. I don't care who we have to play. I don't care what has happened in the past. I am going in front of everybody, and I will fight anyone. I am stepping up before it's necessary to say that this Packers team is the best team there is. Win, lose, or draw, I've said this before, but I am going after it right now. That anybody that wants to come up against us had better be prepared, because the fight's coming to you. The fight's not just coming from the team, it's coming from the fans. I know some of you out there are going to be there, and we are bringing it. Just like DM said, right? It is on. You better buckle up your chin strap, Washington, because you're going to need it. Helmets will be flying. You like that? You like that? Guess who's going to be saying it's going to be us? All right? This is my analogy for this game, and frankly, I can't think of a better one. Because the team is down, right? The team has taken its shot. But Packer Nation is going to step out in front of that, and we're going to take on anybody with Packer pride, which goes far deeper and wider than any other team in the NFL. And don't talk to me about the Patriots, because the Patriots are Johnny-come-lately to success. And the last time they met the Packers in the Super Bowl, you all know what happened. I am getting out in front of this team today to defend them. Now, do I have some reason for this? Well, of course, if you look back at the Titans game, there are a lot of reasons to be wondering what is up. But think about it. Our offense has decided in the last 3 games, Aaron Rodgers has really started to click. Look at what Davante Adams has been able to do. Think about Jared Cook getting back on the field and the Packers knowing that they have to utilize him to make this offense go. Add to that the possibility. And frankly, I'm going to talk about my unsung hero. You guys know who my unsung hero, the guy that I think is going to make a huge difference in this game is? Anybody got a guess? Jacob says good morning to everybody. Oh, I got the FedEx guy coming. I got some cool stuff on the way. If he rings the doorbell, I guess I'll have to go. I don't know if I have to sign for this. Hopefully he just throws it on the stoop, and I will show it to you perhaps tomorrow. Maurice says Martinez, and that's an excellent. On the defensive side of the ball, that's exactly right. I'm thinking offensive side of the ball, but that is a fantastic, fantastic pick. Unsung hero on the defensive side of the ball is Martinez. Look at Vernon Davis. You know, we got some tight ends we're gonna have to deal with. Jake says Guyon. My hero is Adams. Not in this one. I think he's going to have a fantastic game. I do, and I'll say that. I'm talking about the unsung hero, the guy that's not going to get any credit. He's not going to have any flashy stats, but he is going to be the difference maker. Geronimo, that's a good pick. Hey, Jared's here. The fullback. Aaron, rip. No, I think it's going to be James Starks. And I don't think he's going to have that many carries. I think he's going to have more carries than he did against the Titans, but it's not going to have to do with his carries. This is why I call him an unsung hero. I think it's going to be his pass protection, because that's the one reason this week we're not going to see much out of Michael, I don't think. And if we do, hopefully he gets in a little bit, but I don't expect him to have more, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, because I've got a little poll I want to do. But I think James Starks in pass protection, you look at that play, the long pass to Davante Adams over the shoulders, that was all James Starks picking up in pass protection, picking up the pressure. And he could be extremely important because he's a veteran guy. He's not known. He did a good job against the Titans. Had a good, oh gosh. Jared, I got to stop the show because Jared is saying Shum is going to be the unsung hero. It could be. It could be. I mean, if the guy can put the ball, I mean, he had a nice placement in the last one. The unfortunate thing was he held the ball. He mishandled the ball in the field goal or extra point that we missed. But I think James Starks is going to have something to say, and I don't think anybody's going to notice it when it happens. But I'm going to keep my eye on that, and I want you guys to keep your eye on that. And I know, because I know James Starks is not going to be a popular pick. However, I like to pick around the edges a little bit from time to time, but I do think Starks in pass protection, because now we have a running back there who is firmly entrenched in our offense and the pass protection that our offense requires, and he has a good rapport with Aaron Rodgers. You saw on that long pass to Adams, Aaron Rodgers was letting Starks know who he had to watch for, because 21 came off the opposite edge, and Starks had to step through and make the crossover block there, and he did it. And I think he's going to have something to say in this game. If he, just giving Aaron Rodgers an extra half a second, I think is going to be very important, because, as I've said, I think this is Aaron Rodgers' game to win for us. I think on defense, I think that I can't see Washington not scoring on our defense at this point. I think our defense is going to be improved, though. Billy's got James Starks started in fantasy. I don't know that he's going to be a real flashy in terms of yards, but I think he will get more carries. But I think it's that pass protection that he's going to help out with that we've had for a while, and it's going to open some things up. I think we're going to hopefully get the ball out. I think between James Starks' protection and Jared Cook coming back, some interesting things could happen. And we know from what Mike McCarthy has said this week, Mike McCarthy is actually not focusing on Michael right now in terms of getting him ready. You know who he's focusing on getting ready to play in that running back slot is Ty Montgomery. As Ty Montgomery missed practice, he was sick. Coach McCarthy he said that this Ty Montgomery thing is not something that's just a stopgap. It's here to stay. And Daniel says Cook's going to open up the middle of the field. Bold prediction is Cobb has 10 catches and 2 TDs. And that's okay, because somebody mentioned Adams, right? Okay, here's the deal. I've got, because I am assuming, and sometimes when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. I understand this. But I'm still assuming Norman is going to be following Jordy around the field. Obviously, teams are starting to focus on Adams because they understand this cat can play, he can flat out play. This becomes, I think, an opportunity for Randall. And I'm not sure, I'm a little bit torn. But I think, as opposed to Cobb, I think this is Adams' game to shine because, and here's the reason, okay, as opposed to Cobb, because that comment was made. Here's the reason. Because Aaron Rodgers said this week that he is looking to find more ways to get Adams into that number 1 read position because of the way he's playing. So that means if Adams can't get it done, or let's say they roll Norman over to Adams' way, Adams may get shut down if they do that. Or if Adams takes a step back at some point. But remember, Adams had the big go-ahead touchdown against Washington last year in the playoffs. And this year, he has determined in his mind to step through the open door that's been in front of him. That he is an excellent number 3 receiver. And as a number 3 receiver, he has opportunities that a number 1 isn't necessarily going to get to do. When you're rolling safeties over the top of your number 1, or you're putting your shutdown guy on your number 1, it's the 2s and 3s that have the opportunity and have to step up. Well, to Adams' credit, he has done that. Now, the reason I think Adams may have more catches in this game is not because I have anything against Randall Cobb. I think he could have a fantastic game as well. So no disagreement. The reason is because of Aaron Rodgers' comment that he wants to try to get more plays where Davante Adams is the first read in the play. And we'll see what happens. So this becomes a challenge, I think, for Adams to not only continue doing what he's been doing, but also to step up. So it's a big game. It's 1-0. It's 1-0. That's all we want is 1-0. All right. On defense, then, we know... Well, we don't know, but I expect Clay Matthews is going to play. And I've said, I'm standing on my prediction that when Clay Matthews steps back on the field, our defense immediately will improve. However, this Washington team, something you need to know about this Washington team, they've only given up 12 sacks in the entire season so far. They've sacked opponents 25 times. They've only given up 12. That's more than double sack to sacks taken ratio. This is important. So Clay Matthews playing in this game is extremely important. Randall playing in this game is extremely important. Because we're not only going to have to get after the quarterback, but even when we do, we're still going to have to cover. Look at the matchups out there that we're going to have. And that's where the earlier comment of Blake Martinez comes in on defense. So if I was going to talk about an unsung hero on defense, I am so looking forward to see Blake Martinez take a step forward in this game. He is not a rookie anymore. Jake Ryan, no Jake Ryan, I would expect. I mean, things can change, but come on, right? Marie says, let's beat the stats. Let's beat the stats. Let's put Cousins down 4 times. Let's take it to 5 and bring him right up to an even 20 or more. Wynn says Matthews is overrated. I disagree. When Matthews steps on the field, our defense is better. So Matthews, I think, plays. I think Matthews has 2 sacks in this game. 1 or 2. I think Julius Peppers is going to have something to say to the tune of at least 1 sack and possibly a strip fumble. That's his MO. He's so long. The dude is huge. If you've ever seen Julius Peppers on the side with like everyone else, including linemen, he's huge. But his length, and he knows how to use it. And I think he's still got some in the tank. He's kind of like I said, it's when Clay Matthews gets on the field, this defense changes, and we're going to change. All right, does that mean they're not going to score on us? I don't think so. And I'll tell you what my prediction is but first, it's time for your predictions, guys. It's Friday. It's your show time. Caesar says Clay's a beast. Love the guy. It's very difficult to do what he did, not only at the outside, but the inside position to be a Pro Bowler. All right, folks, it's time for your numerical predictions on the game. I know we just want to go 1-1, but this is the time in the show where you have to put your money where your mouth is. And Maurice is going 42-30 pack. I love it. I like the prediction for Clinton Dix. I didn't catch that. I'm not sure what that means. If you clarify and I catch it, I'd be happy to comment on that. Jerry, Peppers is proving the Packers are winning. Yeah, he's going to prove it. Bryce says 35-27 Pack. Corey 31-28. Ooh, LB says 35-24 and Billy 38-17. Sean says 27-14. Tim Welch says 23-21. In overtime, Packers. I think I'm reading that right. Daniel says 31-27 and Virginia 28-24. Jacob had a little typo. My bad. 31-27 Pack. Okay, all right. We got Edgar with 35-14. Robbie 31-14. 27-14 says Jerry. There's a lot of love for the Packers out there. All right, you guys, let's see. Roger says 17-14 in a low scoring with 2 sacks for Green Bay. Low scoring affair, and I'm tempted to go your way, Roger, on that. I'm going to go a little bit different. I think I'm going to take a via media, so to speak, Roger, on that. Nikki is here with 34-17. Brown says 35-21 Packers win. Mike, 24-21. You can read the rest. So my prediction is I'm going to make it short and sweet. 31-28. I think it's a close game, but I think the Packers break 30 in this one, which is saying something, right? I mean, and I know a lot of you out there that are predicting high scoring for Green Bay. You've been predicting it for weeks, and we've kind of failed to do it for a while. I think the Packers find a way. I think they get the ball out fast. I think we have a better start. And if we have a better start than we did against the Titans, we still stored enough points other than the missed extra point and crap like that. We didn't quite break the 30-point mark. I think we do. 31-28 Pack. Now, I got to write it down. In case you're new to the show, I got to write it on the board. 31-28. That is my prediction, and I will have to hold to it. And Nikki says, I don't care, I just want to see a win. Well, we all understand that. Yeah, of course, this is prediction time, however. Paul's got 21-17 pack, fairly close there. I think we do. I think we break 31. I think we break 30, I mean. It's been a while, folks. And like you, I think we celebrate a win. DM's got 23-17. And we said this week, every week's our Super Bowl at this point. But the standings don't lie. This is a Packer team that needs to just find a way to gut out a win against a good team. This is the Washington team that beat the Minnesota Vikings. This is a good team. And however, against the Vikings went down 14-0 right off the bat. And again, that's why, and I'm not usually this way, but if we win the toss, I would put the offense on the field and tell Aaron Rodgers, listen, you are the man that can get this done. Let's get firing on all cylinders on offense first and assume that our defense is going to have a better second half than first half. Now, look at the Titans game. Do you think 21 points in the second quarter? Was it the first or the second quarter? 21 points. Second half, 6 points a quarter. So DM says, yeah, we need this one badly. So at any rate, we are still in it until Sunday night. My bold prediction for this game, anybody got a bold prediction out there? We've seen a few come by. Bryce says the cheese will constipate the skins. That's just disgusting. The first, okay. Yeah. Anybody got a bold prediction? I know mine. My bold prediction for this game, I've had several, but my bold prediction for this game, I'm going to stand on, that I'm really going to make, that I'm pretty sure nobody else is going to make, is that Aaron Rodgers is going to have his best night game performance of his career. So he's not known to be, like when it was Brett Favre, the night game to me was like the guy was just going to be on fire somehow. I'm sure there were, and that's just anecdotally saying. Aaron, not so much. I think he's going to have his best performance in terms of he's going to have a great number of yards. He's going to have touchdowns in this game. We're going to have to throw TDs without a doubt. And I think Larry is agreeing with me that we maybe switch it up. Let's put the offense on the field first and see what happens. Because I think our defense, I've said this before, our defense has this ability to shut teams down in the second half. No, we don't. I'm not saying we do that all the time. I'm saying we have from time to time been able to do that. So this is where I think it might be time to do that and tell Aaron Rodgers, listen, we need to get this thing in. No missed pass to Randall Cobb. That was a kind of a fluke, wasn't it? I mean, seriously, right? You got to figure 9 times out of 10, Aaron Rodgers is going to make that throw, and especially after watching this Titans game, he's going to make that throw. We get in, we take some time off the clock, and we come back, we take them 3 and out because we got to give them the ball in the second half. Jacob's got Rodgers throwing 5 TDs. Jerry wants a pick 6. Jerry, who's going to get it? Make it bold, man. Who's going to get it? If you say Blake Martinez, you get the total shout out. And that's another thing about the Luke Kuechly injury. I mean, the guy he picked up a blocked field goal and ran it all the way back. It didn't end up being a touchdown because there was a penalty. I mean, the guy is freaking astounding. Jared's got Clinton Dix, I think, with the pick 6. LB says Cook 6 catches over 100 yards. I think you might have mentioned that yesterday too. So being bold right off the bat. Peppers with a pick 6. Oh, I would love to see that, says Paul. Nice. Ronnie says, from your lips to Aaron's arm and the receiver's hands. That's like the benediction of the Washington game. Excellent. Tim is saying keys to the game is going to be turnovers. And that's a little bit scary because we have not been getting them lately. Aaron threw the 2 interceptions in the game against the Titans. One was a gimme, at the end of the half. Hail Mary-esque. Francisco says our defense can have 5 or 6 sacks in this game. Wow, would I love to see that. Bold prediction. Love it. Willie's bold prediction is that the Packers will win. That's kind of bold, isn't it? I think that's what you mean, Willie, when you say that Packers will win, that it's a bold prediction. I don't know. I may be reading it wrong, but I think it's funny because it's true. I mean, it is true. But I got to laugh. I just got to laugh a little bit. We are on a skid right now. It's time to pull out of it. No more tailspin time for the Green Bay Packers. And I think they know it. Aaron Rodgers with a pick six. Like it. But yeah, there's no more time to waste. And, it starts Sunday night. And I think this team can get it done. Patricia, I think, or Patrick. Yeah, Patrick, sorry. Patrick just hopes they show up. Yeah, I think they will. And with that, notice that I think McCarthy's press conference is coming on, so I'm going to send it over there to you guys. There's lots of good interviews on Packers.com that you guys can check out. And, of course, if they've got the interview going on now, I will sign off. Guys, you got my prediction. I've got yours. Come Monday, we'll talk about a big Packer win. I hope you have a great Friday. Be safe out there on the weekends. Have a good time, a good, safe time. And I will talk to you again before the Packers take on Washington Sunday night. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.